Patty, I'm so excited. And she's like, well, what are you doing? I told her we're opening up this co-working space, a computer lab, a community incubator. She's like, oh, okay, what is that? So I told her, we're co-collaborating, we're co-creating, we're bringing businesses, we're bringing digital inclusion to our community, and we're educating and bringing resources. And she looks over and she's like, well, when you said incubator, I thought about babies. It's like, oh, okay. Right. So she's like, are you making business babies? She's like, yeah. And we laugh about it because she's joking now, right? So I was like, yeah, actually we are. We're making business babies. We're bringing small businesses to our community and we're developing them. We're cultivating them. We're incubating them in our co-working space. And she looks at me and she says, oh, okay, cool, right? So I'm excited. But if you think about it from a teenager's perspective, okay, cool, it means that's pretty awesome. As the acting president, I'm deeply honored to stand before you today. For over 3 decades, Nevada Partners has remained steadfast in its commitment to serve our community. Our achievements, let me put this down a little. Our achievements are a testament of the work that we do for our community. Specifically in the West Las Vegas Promise neighborhood, through the Affordable Housing and Wealth Creation pillar, this came to fruition. Together, we spearhead initiatives like Promise Startups, providing businesses the opportunity to cultivate their businesses. Furthermore, the creation of the Tourism Business Igniter program aims businesses to foster and build sustainability and attracting tourism to our tourist attraction that we now call the Westside, a vibrant community. As I look around into the room, I'm very, very excited to see all your beautiful faces, the excitement, and to see how much support we have in the community. It brings me, it's very touching to see how much support, the day-to-day operations that we have, and to really see everybody just come excited to see the work that we're doing and to be able to showcase our work. And for that, I'm so thankful. Our heartfelt thank you goes to our Visa, EveryoneOn, Alliant Credit Union, Planet ROI, and their dedicated teams for coming out and really giving us the support that we needed. I've said it throughout the day and I will continue to say it. They came in full force. They came in and really showed us what it is to be in collaboration and what true partnership is about. And thank you for that. In addition, thank you for your generous support for bringing a computer lab and co-working space to life. Josh Jacobs may be somewhere around the building, so thank you for being here today. Thank you for being nice to meet you. I've never met you. My husband was like, you don't know. I'm sorry, but it's a pleasure to meet you. We have to make sure I take a picture for my husband. I also want to take a moment to recognize Elias Benjaloon. For his exception. For his exceptional dedication in securing the sponsorship opportunity. And I won't dismiss Bo because I know he sent this to us, but Elias, your heart and passion for helping others and truly commendable. And we are incredibly fortunate to have you on our team. To our Nevada Partners team, I am profoundly grateful for your tireless efforts and unwavering commitment to serving our community. Together, we are making tangible differences in the lives of those we serve, and I am immensely proud to stand alongside each and every one of you. Thank you to our youth leaders for always showing up and showing out in a great way, and for showing the great way to pave the path for future youth. For our amazing UNLV team, words cannot describe the amazing work that we've done together. I see you here with your beautiful faces, just smiling and just being so proud of the work that we're doing. And I'm just truly thankful for the opportunity to work with the UNLV team. TV Interiors, I don't know if you're here today, but thanks for bringing aesthetic to our co-working space. Daring Innovations for bringing in your innovative, creative industry side and showing us exactly what we needed in our co-working space. Thank you all for being here today. You are a key part of transforming this journey. Let's continue to uplift and empower each other and as we move forward towards a brighter future for all. I now have the absolute pleasure of introducing and welcoming the person that made this possible today, Michelle Gathers, Chief Diversity Officer and Head of Corporate Responsibility for Visa.
Good morning. It is a beautiful mosaic to stand in front of you today and see standing room in our community. Sometimes we don't show up. And today we have shown up. I want everybody to look around and see each other. Turn around and look at this room. It is my great honor and privilege to represent purpose at Visa. It is my great honor and privilege to be here today with you. Yes, the Super Bowl is going on in the city, but something far greater is happening, and that is the investment in the main thing. And the main thing in any community is its people. And so today we're going to keep the main thing, and we're going to invest in each other. I say to you that I am here because I want to be around people who want to reach their full potential. So by a show of hands, how many people want to reach their full potential? If you really want to reach your full potential, put up both hands. Okay, I'm in the right room and you can stay. And for the people who didn't raise their hand back there, there's going to be an escort. Okay, so now that we have established that full potential is important, we need to share resources. And that's what we're here today for. Because let me tell you how we reach our full potential together. People say if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And so I invite you to go far and reach your full potential. So here's a little bit about why we're here. We're not here for show and tell. We're here because we believe that inclusion is the key to our global success as people who want to reach our full potential. You see, the world is borderless now. You can be anywhere in the world in nanoseconds, and data travels around the world. So how is it that we make sure that there's inclusion, and not because of the color of our skin or our gender, but because of our shared humanity? I want us to experience this thing called inclusion. And so inclusion begins when you come out the womb, and it never ends. And so today, Visa and our partners are here because we believe that inclusion is real. And some of the people I want to acknowledge straight on include, yes, Nevada Partners, EveryoneOn, Alliant Credit Union, who I'll introduce their CEO in a little while. We have Senator Rosen's staff here. Raise your hand. They're at the resource fair. Tell them come on in here too. But sometimes we forget that the political fabric of our community is important, and it really does care about community. So I want to make sure we acknowledge Senator Rosen's office. And then we have also Congressman Stephen Hosford coming at 10 a.m. So he's not here yet, but he will be here. So it's another way of demonstrating inclusion, right? Because it takes everybody in the ecosystem for inclusion to happen. And there are some facts that bring us here. 18 million Americans do not have high-speed internet. COVID taught us that it is not a luxury, it's a basic need. We also know that here in Nevada, 21% of the citizens in this state do not have access to broadband internet. Said another way, in this room, for every 5 people, 1 person is not connected. And you just looked around this room. It is a reality that we must face, but more importantly, it's a reality that we must fix together. And so today we're bringing together individuals and small businesses, and we saw some babies in the room too. We saw some young people, because a thriving community has children engaged in the activity. Like Lizette needed to explain to her daughter what was going on. That's a critical success factor. We also know that if we do digital empowerment well, which is what the Visa team is doing, and I want to acknowledge the Visa team. So Worku, Kate, Brittany, Lynette, y'all stand up so people don't think I'm doing all the work, because I'm not. Tom stands up, Visa team, right? Oh, there they are out there waving. The reality is we are 28,000 Visa employees who care about this, and our global footprint is truly global. And we care about this idea of inclusion, because when we get inclusion right, there are equitable outcomes for us all. And we all decided that we want to reach our full potential. And as the kids say, that means Mo. Because we need it to fully participate in society. It's not get it at any means necessary. It is, but I want to participate. And how do I participate? Digital empowerment and closing the digital divide must happen during our lifetime, not someone else's. And so today, all of you are here because now you have been deputized as people who are going to close the digital divide and who are going to pass it on. The computer lab that is here and the resource center and the collab space is about passing it on, because when we are blessed, what should we do with our blessings? I didn't teach you that. Mama or big mama or somebody at the house, auntie taught you that, right? So let us remember that that is really very important as we manifest reaching our full potential. And so the Super Bowl is here. The Super Bowl is Visa's opportunity to invest in community. It is our opportunity to say that we are a fintech company and we are giants in data and technology, and we want to share it with the communities that we live and work in. And so that's a little bit about why we're here. You're going to hear a lot more. But now what I want to do is I want to introduce you to a partner who said, I want to get involved. And I don't want to get involved on the sidelines. I want to be on the court. I want to be on the field. And that is our partner, Dennis Devine, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Alliant Credit Union, where he can make things happen for communities. And he's dedicated his career to making sure something happens. And he said, Visa, I want to partner with you. And I want to make something special happen. The football game's going to be over after a couple of hours. But that computer lab back there, that's impact. And so I want to thank you for being a man of impact. So please come to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Are you as inspired by Michelle as I am? Holy cow. We all feel warm this morning to be together and to be able to share this time and to talk about something truly impactful for our community. My name is Dennis Deviant, and I'm lucky to work with an organization. Alliant, you might not know, we're one of the largest credit unions in the United States. Far more important, we are a digital credit union. And so the cause that you care about so much today is at our hearts. Credit unions are a little different than banks. We don't have shareholders. And so the only work we do is for the members that we serve. And I'm lucky to work with a team that has a core set of values. One of them on our walls each day is do good. We aspire to change something for the good each day. And so that feels right to us. And I know as I have an opportunity to see the folks gathered in this room that that's what this is about. Digital inclusion is not an optional, it's an absolute necessity. We know well that, and the data that Michelle shared is both powerful and it's humbling, and it hurts to know that there's plenty who don't have access. And so access to technology and high-speed broadband, it's necessary for healthcare these days. Try to make an appointment or follow up with your physician. It's essential for work. Try to put together a resume and not have access. Education, we know it through COVID and we know it far more. And maybe most powerful to me personally, 1 in 5 students, parents say, don't have access to the technology and broadband they need to do their schoolwork. And so as a community here on the West Side and as entrepreneurs to gather together and to find ways to create access, super proud today that there will be more than 125 devices as well as investments in skills. Michelle, I hope she's cheering for my team on Sunday, right? I want to take a moment as well just to say thank you to so many partners who are involved. Michelle, we are inspired by you. The leadership of the entire Visa team to bring this together is truly remarkable. Lizette, as you bring us together in your community to celebrate this great work, we are truly honored to be here. Elias, to hear your story and how this has come together is remarkable. You're going to have a chance in the panel to hear from Norma, the CEO of EveryoneOn. We've been partners for years, and it's amazing to be together to be able to celebrate this time. You'll meet the person on my team who's here who does all the work to help make this happen. Right next to her, Meredith Ritchie is the president of the Alliant Credit Union Foundation. But we're truly, truly honored. Can we give a quick thank you to everyone? This is a game changer for those who want access, who will pass it on for generations in this community here on the West Side. And so thank you so much for having us, and we're excited for this Community Access Lab and all that it will mean. I also have the great pleasure to introduce someone I know that you're looking forward to hearing from. And so some of you know him as national champion, others know him as first-round draft choice. Others know him as Pro Bowl invitee multiple times. Others know him as the Jim Brown Award winner because of his rushing title. But I think his attendance here also reflects a passion and commitment to the community and a story that inspires many. So will you please join me in welcoming Josh Jacobs.
Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? So I had something written down, you know, that I was gonna come up here with a whole plan, but I just decided to speak on why I'm here and you know, what this type of event and this type of, you know, community outreach means to me. Growing up for me, you know, in a underprivileged community, we always feel like we had the short end of the stick in everywhere that we turned, every direction that we looked in. So to be able to be, you know, a kid in high school, not really learning about financial literacy until I went to college, and being in the room speaking about credit and things like that, and not understanding what it was or what was going on. I feel like that's the reason why I felt like this was very important, especially in today's day and age where everything is online. anything that you do, everything that you see, learning the kids, everything. I mean, I feel like my kids know how to do stuff online better than me. You feel me? So, I mean, that's why I feel like it was so important also to be able to give back to this community, man, and be in Vegas, to partner with Visa and Alliant, to be able to come here and just give back to the community and see the faces that I feel like I relate to. Man, growing up, I always dreamed of being able to be in a community in a center like this, be able to go to a place where I felt like it was safe to learn and to grow. So to be able to see all these beautiful people in here come together and actually care about the community and what they say, stand on business. Um, I mean, it's just important. So I want to say thank you for allowing me to be here and allowing me to be a part of your journey. Hopefully this ain't the end of the journey, man. Hopefully we continue this success in this community. And hopefully this is just, a stepping stone to where we want to be. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Do the panelists want to come join me on stage? I don't want to be up here alone. Thanks, everyone, for coming out today. It's so amazing to see this many community members. We've got a full room in here. There's another full room down the hall. So I know that this is exciting for everyone, and I can tell that this is important to you. There's Elias. My name is Kate. I'm on the Visa team. And it's been a real pleasure over these past few months to work with this extremely collaborative group of partners on the Community Access Lab. And I know everyone on this stage thinks a lot about financial inclusion, digital access. So we're going to talk about why it's important to us, why it be important to you in your individual lives and for the health of this community. So we'll hold some time for questions at the end. So if you do have questions for anyone on the panel, we'll bring around some microphones in a short time. But first, I want to let everyone introduce themselves, tell us who you are, and why is this important to you? Elias, I'll start.
Oh man, I'm going to start. Hey everyone, it's such a pleasure to be joined by so many members of our community this morning. So thank you all so much for joining. My name's Elias Benjaloon. I've been in Las Vegas for 18 years. I came to America when I was 2, and I like to share that story because I was the son of immigrants. And growing up in an immigrant household, education and community were values, and hard work were values that were instilled in me at a young age. And my family's always been very entrepreneurial. And so I don't want to bore you too much with my story, so I'll try to make some of these pieces pretty quickly. But entrepreneurship has a very special place in my heart because it has enabled so much in my life, specifically access to digital technology and understanding digital literacy. To put it in perspective, I grew up undocumented. And when I got to college at the young age of 15 because I worked hard and I studied hard as a young kid. And but when I went to UNLV, I was not able to get any financial aid because I was undocumented like many other folks in our community are. But it was that web design skill and my access to technology that helped me pay my way through school, put me on a path that totally changed the direction my life went on. Since then, I've been able to be a part of venture-backed tech startup launches, have my own tech startup, and it's really changed, my life and my family's life. And so I've made it my mission really to help power digital equity for all. And so I'm so grateful to be joined by this amazing panel so that we can close the digital divide and share this entrepreneurial success with everyone.
Very good. Great job, Elias. I'm Bo Bernhardt. I'm vice president at UNLV, which is crazy because I grew up in this Clark County school district. I actually grew up not far. You could throw a rock and hit my home from this very building. Right up the road, I'm actually a 3rd generation teacher in this community and very proud of that. My grandmother launched a little program called Head Start for 3-year-olds right up the road here. And then my mom and dad, in their first job after they got married, launched a little program called Upward Bound with the great Harvey Mumford. Anybody who's local knows. So when I had the opportunity as the 3rd generation teacher in my family to open up a little shop upstairs as a representative of the university, you can imagine how meaningful this was. There are a lot of special neighborhoods in Las Vegas. Those of you who are around here know that. There's one sacred neighborhood, and we're in it. It's the Westside. And the Westside pride that those of us who've grown up in and around here feel is something that is epitomized today by this attendance and the energy here. So the reason that that we are upstairs is this Tourism Business Igniter, as you heard earlier. I did a little TED Talk. You heard TED Talks? Last weekend on the fun economy. Let me give you quick statistics. The fun economy is now 14% of the world's economy. And we define that as tourism plus sports plus entertainment. Taken together, those three industries are 14% of planet Earth's gross world product. 14 cents out of every dollar, 14% of every yen, peso. I just got back from London last night, euros, pounds. That's 9 times the size of the global pharmaceutical industry, my friends. A lot of this data is from Visa, actually, by the way. We did a report on the fun economy, citing our friends at Visa, because who has better data, talk about the digital divide, than Visa on the way that the world is spending than Visa? That's 7 times the size of the global fashion industry. It's 5the whole 9, and hopefully diversifying the tourism economy into a much more resilient, as you heard Lizette say earlier, industry, and diversifying its beneficiaries. So that's what I get to do. Come visit us upstairs. There are many, many UNLV team members in the stands here to invoke the Super Bowl language. Please, please come visit us. Good to see you all.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Meredith Ritchie with Alliant Credit Union Foundation based in Chicago, Illinois. And I am so humbled and honored to be here with you today. I mean, as folks have said, the impact in this room, the good that we all can do is really unlimited. And thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. What we do at the foundation, first of all, we're the charitable arm of Alliant Credit Union. And you heard Dennis Devine, our CEO, speak earlier about the fact that we are a fully digital credit union. And so it's really vital that we do everything we can to help bridge the digital divide, everything that we can do. So our foundation is doing that. And what we do is we give grants to organizations like EveryoneOn so that they can go out and really make a difference. And again, we're so pleased and delighted to be invited today to partner with Visa and EveryoneOn and Nevada Partners and Planet ROI to make a difference. So last year in 2023, we gave out 42 grants. And some exciting things I'll tell you about later. I don't want to take up all the time, but we've got $1 million challenge going on right now, where we're going to be giving out $1 million in grants. We've just started our digital inclusion advocacy program. So everybody in this room, everybody in this country can join Alliant Credit Union Foundation and be a digital advocate. And we'll talk about more of that later, but thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Norma Fernandez, and I'm the CEO of EveryoneOn. EveryoneOn, I like to say, is a nonprofit that has national reach but local impact, and we focus on the digital divide. Our true purpose is not just bringing technology access, meaning internet, computers, and digital skills to folks, but making sure they have the confidence to navigate our digital world. Technology is power, like we've heard everyone say today, and so is data. Data is so powerful. So we dedicate ourselves, in fact, for the last 10, almost 11 years, we've been working on this issue, and we dedicate ourselves to working in underserved communities, whether they're in rural parts of the country, urban parts of the country, to bring this access. But most importantly, to ensure that people really are harnessing the power of the internet. And this is why this partnership makes so much sense. As you heard every speaker say, it really takes cross-sector partnerships and folks to come to the table, bring the resources, but most importantly, bring the commitment, the passion,
and the dedication to make this happen. So I want to acknowledge Visa, Alliant, Nevada Partners, Planet ROI, my team at EveryoneOn for really coming together and making this happen in a fairly short window. But it happens because folks put the resources on the table and because we bring literally the passion that you hear across the room here and the panel today to make it happen. So thrilled to meet you all, and we look forward to having this hopefully, great conversation that you'll walk away with even more inspired. Thank you for having us.
I'm going to start with you again, Norma. EveryoneOn is such a leader in advancing digital access, and you guys have a lot of research on, thank you, Michelle, a lot of research on why this is so important. So all the speakers have talked about this so far. We've talked about digital access, why it matters to us. Why are we all so obsessed with digital access? What do we know is the impact of a lack of or having access?
Sure. So I'll share a few numbers, but I want to start by acknowledging that almost 4 years ago, we found ourselves learning about the global pandemic. It's around this time, 4 years ago. And if you remember when things started shutting down, including schools, it was around mid-March. And other than the, health devastation that, unfortunately impacted many people, what really stood out was the digital divide and how severe it was. And it really became even more glaring when we started hearing stories about kids hanging out outside of McDonald's, their local Taco Bell, because they couldn't have internet, or they didn't have internet access at home. And it became a big deal, right? Because it really shook us. Like, wait a minute, folks are unconnected. What's happening? We're sending kids home without technology to still learn. That was a ripple effect. Their parents felt it, parents and guardians, probably many of you who had kids at school at that time, trying to figure out how to help my student, my grandchild with technology when maybe I don't have the skill set myself. And so I want to acknowledge that because we're 4 years into the pandemic and we've made a lot of progress. Government, both federal, state, all the way down, corporations, nonprofits have come together to address it. But we still have a long way to go, and I'll tell you why. Michelle earlier shared that there's 21% of the country, or I think you said the state actually, households are unconnected. When we look at national level numbers, there are 18 million households that currently do not have internet access, and this is informed by the U.S. Census. 18 million households translates to over 46 million people that do not have connectivity at home. So when you think about that effect, right, what does that mean? That means people don't have access to certain resources like online banking if they have an account. They're maybe having difficulties with accessing essential resources like employment opportunities during their telemedicine appointments. That is critical. And we also know through various reports out there that when workers in particular go from a non-tech job to a tech with a job that requires at least one digital skill, their income increases by 45%. Think about that economic impact, not just to the individual, but to the household, to the local economy, and to our global economy. Because I love that we're saying we are a global, not just economy, we're a global society. And so when we have folks at the table who are not even at the table, but when they are without the skills and the technology, both internet access and computers, and the ability to use that, we're missing out on a wealth of information. And it's also a little disappointing and jarring that when we look at who is unconnected, who's missing these technologies at home, again, whether it's internet, computers, or skills, it affects primarily low-income communities, underserved communities, both in rural parts of the country, urban parts of the country. And when we drill down a little bit more, we look at who it affects. It's people of color who were also disproportionately affected by the pandemic. So we need to address these, and these are the implications, right? People are missing out on opportunities. They're missing out on opportunities to find jobs, to connect with their family members, secure resources that they need to really build a thriving community for themselves and their family.
Thanks, Norma. And I want to zoom in on something that you said in terms of access to the digital economy. I know we have a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners in the room, And so Meredith, I want to ask you, how does Alliant think about getting involved in this work? You have a partnership with EveryoneOn. I know you're also focused on helping people get access to the digital economy. Tell us a little bit more about the work that the foundation is doing in this space.
Great. Thank you so much. And you heard Norma speak and how compelling her points were. So we actually started a partnership in 2021 with EveryoneOn through Norma. And so far, we've worked with them with 3 different grants. If I can explain a little bit quickly, and then I'll get more to your question. But the first grant that the foundation gave to EveryoneOn was really focused on policy and advocacy activity. The second grant that we did was a really interesting. They came up with a called the Offer Locator Tool platform, where basically you type in your zip code, and then it'll tell you where you would find low-cost internet and even devices. And so that was huge. And we thought that is a fantastic cause that could really help people. So we made that investment. And then the third one was the Affordable Connectivity Program, ACP, as most people know it. And so we've given them a grant in that area as well. So Kate, to get back to your question, again, as we've talked about before, financial access and wellness is one, you have to have digital access in order to be able to join a credit union, have, banking, all those things. And so, that's one reason why we really like to focus on bridging the digital divide and investing in giving grants to these organizations who can really make things happen so that people can get connected in the financial services arena. We offer Visa credit cards at Alliant Credit Union. Yes, and so many other things that really make a difference in people's lives. Mortgages, auto loans, savings, and studies have shown that if you are affiliated with a bank or a credit union, and of course I'm a proponent of credit unions because it's for the member, owned by the member, and all of our benefits go back to the member in terms of favorable rates. So we're really, really focused on getting people into a credit union. Everybody can join Alliant Credit Union. I'm not trying to make this into a commercial, but if you join our foundation, you can be a member of Alliant Credit Union, and that'll help. Whether or not individual, business, and I would say that even for a small business, you first got to have an individual account, and that's the first start. And let's teach our kids how to do that. Let's teach our friends in the community, everybody we know, how to connect and also how to get a bank account.
Thanks,
Kate,
Meredith.
anything else I can
thank
add
you
to
so
that?
much. That's great. Dr. Bo, I want to bring it back down to this community and why is this so important in Las Vegas? Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Elias said there's 40 to 50 million tourists that come through Las Vegas. You've already told us a little bit about the importance of the fun economy. How do digital skills improve businesses' opportunity to do business? Why is it so important here in Las Vegas?
Yeah, like many industries, the fun economy is very much a tech-driven economy. And I'll talk about 2 programs that are emerging from our partnership between UNLV and Nevada Partners. About 2 years ago, I was super inspired by this story. I heard about it through a friend of this kid that went to UC Berkeley, got a master's degree in business. I don't know exactly how this works over there, but I'm pretty sure you just walk over to Silicon Valley and say, just start giving me my $1 million a month, right? Because here's my, right? Instead, he went to the favelas in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And what he had was an idea that talent is universal, but opportunity is not, especially as it pertains to those who could be the next computer geniuses.
Mm.
And he launched a program to train computer software engineers in the heart of the poorest neighborhoods on planet Earth. His idea was, because the internet is everywhere, they can work here and work technically kind of in Bangalore, right? By virtue of the way in which the internet, of course, reaches all corners of planet Earth. And that's exactly what started to happen. They started to move their families out of the favelas, and it changed family trees. And so when it came to looking at whether we could bring that to the United States, we got really excited about bringing it to Las Vegas. And we got really excited about bringing it upstairs into our office in the Westside. And that gentleman is in the back of the room. Gary Carrier, will you raise your hand? And everybody give this man a round of applause for launching Plataforma USA to, in essence, bring opportunity to folks who already are good at this. They just don't know that they're good at this, right? And the ways in which this has inspired us at UNLV has led us to name him as our first ever President's Social Entrepreneur in Residence. So that's Gary Carrier. There's another individual here that I think many of you know if you are scholars of the historic West Side, and that is the voice of the West Side, Miss Clay T. White, who is right here. Please give her a round of applause. So as many of you know, these stories, this is what happens as we lose stories, right? As people pass away. But what if we could bring technology to the fore in a way that makes sure that those voices last forever? We've partnered with a group called Dreamscape. Dreamscape is actually DreamWorks, the Steven Spielberg movie studios educational arm that creates all kinds of virtual reality worlds for educational universes. And their claim is that, look, we're really good at, you know, when you cry in Act 3 because of something they planted in Act 1 and you don't even know why you're crying. What Hollywood's really good at is the science of evoking emotion. And what if we brought that to education? What if we brought all that those folks know about how to storytell and how to present it again in a virtual reality world? Wouldn't that be amazing? So every student at Arizona State University this semester that's taking Bio 101 is taking it in an alien zoo, which evens a playing field because nobody's seen these animals, right? It doesn't matter if your family is wealthy enough to take you on safari into 19 zoos, you've never seen these animals. And once you invest in taking care of these animals, you realize I might be a biologist. So when we thought about ways to bring this to Las Vegas, we thought, of course, about the great Clay T. White. And what if we could light up Jackson Street again? Jackson Street, for those of you who are not from here, thank you. Yeah, well, thank Clay T. This is, of course, the famous place in the West Side that for horrific systemic racism reasons became perhaps the coolest cultural spot on earth, as folks like Harry Belafonte and Ella Fitzgerald and Ray Charles and so many of the great African-American performers who were allowed to sell out the strips, showrooms, but weren't allowed to stay in the hotel rooms in the showrooms, took up shop over here and created a cultural brilliance that, again, was probably the coolest musical spot on the planet. Well, what if we rebuilt that in the virtual world, training kids in the West Side to build their grandparents' West Side, and in a way that educates everybody about history, about sociology, about all of the various educational fields that can come alive through technology. So that Dreamscape project, we just invested $2 million in that at the university, thanks to our great president, Keith Whitfield. And you'll be seeing kids from here tell the story of here in a way that we think will be very, very compelling in the future of education. So those are two projects I'd highlight from where the university can sort of play a role here.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Bell. Elias, so we've talked about why digital access is important. We're opening up a community access lab here at Nevada Partners. What opportunities will there be for the community to access the lab? What's going to happen in the lab over the next few months?
Yeah, it's so incredible, this investment made by these partners. So thank you again to Visa and Alliant and Planet ROI. And we're so happy here at Nevada Partners to be able to introduce this new community incubator here on the West Side. And it's pretty much open as of today. And really what that means is it's a co-working space. How many of you folks have heard of WeWork? Yeah, we've heard of WeWork. I used to have an office over there. It's like a couple $100 a month just for a floating desk. Well, welcome to free work. So we really invite you all to get registered with us so you can have access to this co-working space so that we can inspire some serendipitous collisions where collaboration happens, where deal making happens within our community. In addition to that co-working space, we also have mailboxes. So if you need help registering your business, we can help you get your LLC, help you handle that mail, maybe help you get a business bank account. And beyond that, we also have our computer lab in there. And so we have 25 laptops now that's in there where you can check it out and you can work with us. But we'll also have 100 laptops to give away. And so I want to encourage you to go to nvpartners.org/sign up. and I'll put this link everywhere. Email blast it to all of y'all, put it on flyers everywhere so that you can get registered. We have classes as early as next week, Thursday and Friday, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. On completion of the class, you'll get to walk away with your own laptop. And then the following Saturday, which is February 24th, we're going to do another digital literacy class. And we'll be joined by Gary Carrier from Plataforma, who will do an open house on the potential of a career in software development after the class. I'll probably have pizza. And I'm really excited by this because I see so many of our mentors and entrepreneurial mentors here in the room. And we'll be organizing all sorts of classes over the next couple of months. Social media mastery, podcast production. If you're curious about cryptocurrency, we have an expert who'll teach you about the safety and dangers of that space. And I'll also be introducing a weekly software implementation class. So my company, TechStart Software Implementation, we help enable all-in-one business management to happen on the cloud. And every week on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock, you can come into the space and I'll give you access to the software and show you how you can take your business online so you can generate more revenue ultimately. So NVPartners.org/sign up, or you can go to the website and there's a drop down under Get Involved. Really encourage y'all to check out the space and start signing up for classes because really we are, some of my core values that I really believe in and I want to share with y'all is one, to always be learning. And that acronym is ABL. So I always think that, when we're always learning, it makes us capable to be able to do more things, right? And so I encourage you to join us to learn so that we can make a better impact in our personal lives, in our community here through Nevada Partners.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Elias. Before we wrap up, does anyone have any questions for anyone on stage? We have microphones. Don't be shy. Okay, SJ.
Well, I guess I'll kick us off. My question is for Bo. So with the two programs that you mentioned, how will you guys get the youth of the West Side and the historic West Side involved in those programs? Because of course we want everyone to be involved, but I feel like there's a significance with the youth that's out here that will be able to tell those stories.
Yeah, excellent question, right? Because if a tree falls in the forest, nobody's around to hear it, right? So that's why we're partnering with Nevada Partners, right? Which is really the historic West Side's community organization and has been since the early 90s. Without these kinds of partnerships, again, universities are often, they feel a little bit like really cool spaces, but they almost have invisible walls that convey a message of kind of members only, right? Once more, we have an outstanding president. He's somebody who could be president anywhere. He was on the faculty at Duke when Research Triangle Park and the technology that came out of there transformed what used to be kind of a not so nice tobacco economy into a super dynamic fintech, automotive industry. And his belief is we have to blow up those invisible walls. And so, to answer your question, it's by virtue of being here with, again, several folks sprinkled throughout the audience who have offices upstairs. But partnerships, right? It sounds so simple, but partnerships are everything. None of us are smart at everything, right? So we have to partner. We have to partner. So good question.
Hi, I'm Lynn. My question is, let's just say you're a person who doesn't know anything about tech. You show up today, you're excited, you're hearing all this good information, and you really don't know where to start. What would you say to that person? Like, where do I start? Who do I reach out to? What would that look like for them?
Yeah, for sure. So definitely reach out to me or reach out to some of the staff here at Nevada Partners. The class that we're going to be doing is a digitalization boot camp. And the reason why this is so important is because, as Norma had mentioned before, folks that have digital skills are out earning the rest of the American workforce. All right. And so having these digital skills can really help you earn more money. And so some of the basics we're going to cover will be how to leverage your laptop, how to use it, how to hop on Zoom, how to host your own Zoom meeting, how to use automated appointment systems. And, we've got everything, I think, from basic digital literacy to advanced implementation and everything in the spectrum there. And so to get started, I would start off by going to our website and registering for our classes. And my team and I here at Nevada Partners will be in the co-working space. And so if you want to learn, just come on by, check out a laptop. If you get stuck, we'll do our best to help you.
If I could do a little,
Yeah.
I could do a little. Can I get this on? Thank you. A little plug for EveryoneOn in the partnership with Nevada Partners. As I mentioned earlier, EveryoneOn, we have extensive experience delivering digital skills training and really focused on folks who come to the table or the lab, to the computer, without any skills. And even that fear is, as we've documented through some research, folks have a little bit of fear of insecurity with technology. And guess what? That's okay. We all have it. We all have it about our phones, about new technology coming out. So want to encourage anybody who does want to learn this new skill, but maybe doesn't have their own laptop at home, that's fine. Come here because you will receive your own laptop that you'll get to own. And you'll learn the basics. And we will be working closely with Nevada Partners on sharing our curriculum. Obviously, they have extensive curriculum already, which is amazing. We'll help with sharing our resources as well to make sure that folks come even with a little bit of fear, but walk away a lot more confident. I also want to just do, if you don't mind, a little quick plug about some research findings that we're going to release in the next few weeks. And EveryoneOn, as I mentioned, we've trained folks across the country. And what we noticed is that more than 90% of the folks that come to our trainings are women, and particularly women of color, whether they're African American, Black, or Latinas. And we found that really interesting. There's a story to tell about that, right? Speaking of stories, like we know there's a digital divide, but we know about it on a larger scale, right? Low income, rural communities. And we don't know about the gender digital divide here in the United States. When we Google gender digital divide, what we find is lots of data and lots of resources on the global scale, meaning internationally, which is great, but not so much here in the US. And so we're making a concerted effort to target organizations that work with women, because we want to make sure that women have the skills and the confidence to, again, really navigate and harness the power of the internet.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think, oh, sorry, we'll take one more question, sure.
Hi, Elias, you mentioned you would be able to help people with LLCs. Is there a charge for that?
So thankfully, with the support that we have from UNLV and our Tourism Business Igniter, which is our entrepreneurship incubator program here, there is no charge to any of the support services that we offer.
Oh, thank you.
For those of you who know the grant world, this was a Build Back Better grant. It was the only one that Southern Nevada received, and it's going to support this program.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think what's so exciting about this partnership is that it's not just today, the opening of the lab, but everyone on the stage will be here over the next few months to get the lab set up, to help everybody with digital training. So we're excited to stick around and hang out with you guys for a while. I'm going to do one, just to wrap up, I would love to ask everyone to do a quick call to action for everyone in the audience. Elias, do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. So like I've been mentioning, go to Nevada Partners website, which is nvpartners.org/sign up, and fill out the registration there. Select the classes. I mentioned the 3 classes we have upcoming. If those are not, if you can't make those, just hit other, and we're going to have plenty more classes. And I invite you to come visit us sometime next week and come co-work with us.
Dr. Bo?
Good job. And just quick pitch for your local Research One University. In 2018, UNLV became the youngest university in American history to reach the Carnegie top tier. In Las Vegas, we do things fast. This is a city that just a few years ago, this day would be unimaginable because the Super Bowl wasn't touching us, right? And so knowing that you have a powerhouse university in your backyard and knowing that we're like your public library, we're a place that's here for you, is a message we want to make sure we send to all of you. Thank you.
You know, I would say check out AlliantCreditUnionFoundation.org and just take a look. You'll see that there's a sign up to be a digital inclusion advocate. It won't cost you a penny. We would love to have you. You'll be getting some newsletters, and a lot of the content we'll be getting from EveryoneOn and our other partners. So that would be my one ask for today. Thank you so much for having me.
My call to action is to invite you all to visit our table in the resource fair area. We have our team from EveryoneOn that's distributing information about the Affordable Connectivity Program, or ACP. It's a federal subsidy program whereby folks can put $30 towards their internet bill. I'm sharing this as a caveat because unfortunately, this program, federal program, is on the chopping block at the federal level. And it's extra unfortunate because in Nevada, there are over 200,000 households that are benefiting from this subsidy right now. So that's $30 back in people's pocket for eligible folks, right, for internet service. And so call to action is visit our resource table. We could share a little bit more about that program. And if you're in the public policy world, whether you're a senator's office, assembly office, urge you to advocate for ACP so that it's not on the chopping block and folks can continue to pay for their internet. Thanks.
And Norma stole the call to action right out of my mouth, which is come hang out with us at the resource fair. You can learn about classes from Elias. You can learn about the tourism incubator from UNLV. Meredith didn't plug the $1 Million Challenge, but if you want to know what that is, go talk to Meredith and Dennis at the Alliant table.
Yes.
EveryoneOn will be there. Josh is here to take photos with you guys if you want to go hang out with us at the Visa table. Yeah, we're so excited to have you guys. And there's also snacks. Lastly, really quick before we wrap up, we have one special guest here. My new friend Eric from Senator Rosen's office is going to present something to Nevada partners. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric, and I'm here with U.S. Senator Jackie Rosen's office, and I'm proud to be here to present the Certificate of Special Congressional Recognition presented to the Westside Community Incubator. In recognition of your grand opening and ribbon cutting and grand opening, and for everything that's happening here, I'm just very, very impressed with everything that's happened. I grew up in the neighborhood, so just seeing this happening and the digital aspect of it, having that access to technology and being able to start your own business and having the people, the folks here to support you and us as a community spreading the word that this is here is very monumental. And this is the stuff that we're going to be talking about years from now. This is the beginning and not the end. And I hope to continue to see this kind of bright future. So on behalf of U.S. Senator Jackie Rosen, we'd like to present this congressional certificate. To Elias. You want to come up, Elias, and everyone else? Lizette and Lizette. You want to take a picture of them? Awesome.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot. Yeah. Really, this is,
It's an
Okay, great. I think we'll see you guys all down the hall. See you there.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, sorry. We have one more speaker is going to come to the stage. Sorry, everybody. We're going to give closing remarks. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. All right. So who is this stranger? I am Cedric Williams. I actually sit on the board of directors here at Nevada Partners. I am going to be here in the stead of our wonderful Congressman Stephen Horsford, probably other than his sister, the best one to be able to do this. He and I grew up in this neighborhood, and I retired from the fire department about 6 years ago, and I probably should have changed my phone number because not long after that, I got a call from Stephen Horsford, and he said, I should have known it was a setup. He said, what are you doing in retirement? I'm like, well, I do track and field and I do blah, blah, blah. And a week later, he didn't tell me then, but a week later, I got a call from Nevada Partners asking if I wanted to come do a tour. I think he knew if I got on the campus and saw the things that are going on here, being from this exact neighborhood, and he and I ran track and field together and all kinds of stuff. And I was excited when I came here, and I thought, I need to have this shared by everybody that I know to come here and see the wonderful work that is being done. And so, on behalf of Nevada Partners, I am so excited not only for the partnership, but those that are going to make the rubber meet the road here. UNLV, all of our staff here at Nevada Board and Nevada Partners. Do I have any other board members here? Oh, there's Miss Brooke in the back there. That is, she's on the board as well. And I just thank you. I thank you for all the people that come here. They get a big smile when they see me coming here, but I don't think they really realize how much it warms my heart, not only to come and see and support and do anything on my side with regard to the board itself, but also in this community, because they need to see people that came from this community that have come out. Was it an easy community? No, but I believe it produced a lot of beautiful diamonds. And this opportunity right here allows us to do that for years to come. And so thank you all for coming. Hopefully you enjoy and get to tour our whole campus, and have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you.
That means I need to put something up on the screen here. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, no, we definitely need to talk. Um,
Oh, there goes free housing.
Yes.
Trying to go that way. Oh, we take the picture, Josh. You want me to take the picture? I'm getting as many as I can so the record is. I could jump Oh, okay.
You like the third person paying attention to I'll set up the time. I'm with it, bro. Let's go. Came to work and had to see all Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's my son. And my son loves these dudes. Like, he knows. Yeah, you got. Yeah, take a picture. Oh yeah, here. You know what? Let's get the hat in there. Might as well. No problem with you, man. Thank you, Guns.
No, that way. Hey, check this out. Right. On the back. Hey, that was smear. No.
No, I'll be I don't want anything else. And then more, you know. Yeah. I mean, I can't, but yeah, let's talk about the community side of it. Yes. Yeah, he is. But did you see the last? Come on. First of all, my mother said to say thank you because you always have to also, the last time I shook hands with the last time I shook hands with one of my okay. So, I appreciate it. But yeah, man, thank you. Did you mind putting in a quick shout out for everyone
Thank you, everyone.
Now
Brother, can I enlist your support? Can you grab my laptop? Let's do see if the mic situation works. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So can you unmute and can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. Maybe oops. All right. Just
page, I am one of the board members.
I need that. Get it over here.
So much attention. We want to take a moment to acknowledge just the big deer with us, one of our board chair of Nevada Partners, and I want to make sure that we give him some space and be able to have an opportunity to just recognize and revel in just the enjoyment and the growth of what's happening today. So without further ado, allow me to introduce our Congressman, Stephen Horsford, and board chair for that.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's great to be home. Happy Super Bowl weekend. I'm not picking teams. Vegas is gonna win this weekend. I just want to first say how excited I am to be here. Obviously, Nevada Partners is very important to our community, and this partnership with Visa is very important to our community. So thank you for not just spending time and money on the Strip, but thank you for investing in communities like the historic Westside. This is the community that I grew up in. I was born and raised here. It's the community that has given me the opportunity to serve as congressman. But you know, before I went to Congress, it was the work here at Nevada Partners and the Culinary Academy that helped me learn how to equip other people with the skills they needed to excel in their life. And now Nevada Partners has grown into a multifaceted organization that does everything from workforce development to housing support to making sure our young people have the opportunities to learn everything from entrepreneurship to financial literacy, and of course the investments around entrepreneurship and small business development. And so this center, this lab and this investment is just going to help us go even further in the impact that we're making in our community. A lot of people don't understand, but this is a community with a whole lot of promise, a whole lot of purpose. People tend to focus on the negative. We like to focus on the positive. And with today's launch of the Visa Community Access Lab, it's especially useful to us. We recently formed a partnership with UNLV to help bring more of the resources from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas here to North Las Vegas to make sure the residents here in our community have the same benefits as any other community. I love all of Las Vegas, but it's important that we invest in the people who help build this city. And that is what today is about. So I am so excited as a member of the board of Nevada Partners, as someone who, again, was born and raised here in this community, to be able to see this tremendous opportunity. And I want to express my sincere gratitude to Visa, to Alliant Credit Union, to EveryoneOn, and of course to Nevada Partners for their unwavering commitment. And you know, I'm excited that we have our own Raiders for your tremendous impact, for the example that you're providing. You know, we need a lot of role models here in our community, and you are definitely one of them. So, thank you very much. And also, again, to Visa and the work that they're doing. You know, there's an attack right now on the impact of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That impact is not only in the public sector, it's also in the private sector. And in addition to being the congressman for this area, I serve as chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. And we've been working very hard to push back on those attacks because they're really an attack on all of us, on the representation of communities of color, on the investments that we need in our community, on business diversity and supplier diversity. And so we have one message for those who will try to roll back these economic opportunities. we're not going back. And we won't be silenced. We're going forward. And that's what this lab and this investment really means and why it's such an important investment. I want to thank Lizette and the entire Nevada Partners team for their tremendous work in bringing these types of investments to the community. So I'm going to get out of the way so that I can go check out all the great new things that are here at Nevada Partners and in North Las Vegas. But again, thank you to Visa for your partnership. Appreciate it very much.
Let's get a picture with you, of course. Yeah, I know. And that's good. I was asking the question about that. I'll okay, go.
I'm gonna hire you too.
Great.
Should I say volunteer? I don't have any.
Yeah, it's all right.
Live here, but I work there.
Thank you. Yeah, so we have our standard robotics program right here. All right. I'm gonna give you a picture. I know you love it. Right quick. I'm right behind you, okay? Okay. And we're smiling. One time. Yeah, we're gonna switch. When you come on right quick. She make you want to go. Thank you for it. We just did each other a lot of time. I'm trying to I think you've been moving a little bit.
Back and forth.
Say you want me to do a picture? Man around here. Come on, go ahead. I'll get it. I'll go. So you won't miss it. This is what you want to do. Here we go. Yeah, that's why I was trying to do all of you. And then you're the Nevada Partners right here. Oh, that's what. Oh, this is another Thank you. Did you get yours by yourself?
He need his.
He need his by himself right quick. Next one is our patient.
It's got to take me around and show me all the new stuff they're doing.
Hey, good to see you too. I want to get a photo. Of course. Are you on podcast we did?
Wasn't that long ago?
It was like 2 years ago. We'd love to do it again. You got all the stuff.
No Ruben for my team.
All right, good to see you. You might get it in a second. I need some of your hands.
Later today with the FCC commissioner at one of our housing authorities. He's in town. Yeah, we're doing that I'm a signer. We're trying to get it through the Senate, obviously. This is Ruben from my team. It's our official office.
Sorry, y'all.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I have. Who wants to christen our podcast? Okay. Thank you so much. That was smart. Looks nice in here. Come co-work with us.
Yeah, I live right around the corner, so this is great. Yeah.
Literally live like 5 minutes away. All right. We are still up. Can I get those mics over here?
Couple things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So check that out. Let's put this like that. And then, all right. Okay, I have another good sound. There's like a DJI case. Angelo has it. He has like the rest of my equipment over there. It's called it's a case, a black case and a black bag. Yes, and then let's bring him in here.
Oh, girl. Thank you very much. Thank you. Elias, I love it. You got a little podcast going?
We're ready. We're ready right now.
Oh, you got the congressman in the room.
Sorry, I was
They always put me on the spot.
Well, we're just waiting. We could do it right now.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you.
We got all the stuff. Long couple days.
Congressman, thank you so much. We are live. We've been live streaming the entire event on the Nevada Partners page and Entrepreneurs News Network and LinkedIn, everywhere we can go. And so it looks like the audio is working. Oh man, how are you feeling?
I feel great. You know, it's, anytime I have the opportunity to be here in Nevada Partners to see the great work that's being done, and today with the partnership with Visa and Alliant Credit Union and EveryoneOn, this is all about helping to build capacity, bringing the resources directly to the communities who need it the most. And so we're excited to have them here and the investments that they're making North Las Vegas.
Absolutely. You know, one thing that I reflect on is the amazing work you've done with culinary here in Southern Nevada and helping so many families be able to get knowledge is, building on top of that and getting into that industry. And so, we do a lot of that in honor of the work that you've kind of helped establish here. What advice do you have for young folks, especially young folks in this neighborhood, in terms of how they can get, better access to the resources here?
Walk through the doors. You got to take initiative to come in to learn what's available. In addition to Visa and Alliant that's making their investments, we now have the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, bringing more educational and small business resources to the community. But this community access lab, it's all in the word, community and access. And all you have to do is walk through the door and you can access information, you can access support and training, you can access digital skills and training. And the best part is it doesn't cost any money. It's all about just taking initiative and believing in yourself and investing in yourself to acquire the skills. And what I've learned over the years is that when people believe enough in themselves, then they can take their idea, their vision, their purpose as far as they want. There's no limitation.
Absolutely.
Someone believed in me, someone gave me a chance, and I'm just glad that Nevada Partners keeps paying it forward for others in our community.
100%. Congressman, thank you so much for all your support and uplifting this community.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy for the partnership.
Yes, sir.
It looks great in here.
Woo.
I love the
Awesome.
vibe.
Yeah, cool. And so we are live. I mean, we'd love to welcome some more guests to come and share some of the work that they get to do in our amazing community. Brandon Ward, you're with the Urban Chamber. Come on up. Oh, yes, please. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We're good. Can you make sure the audio is good on the live? Hey, Jennifer. What up, Brandon? Oh, man. Oh, man, I appreciate you, man.
We live.
Woo, we have been live. You know, now we've got Brandon Ward from the Urban Chamber of Commerce, our memberships chair, also the founder of your company, The Mentality. Brandon, tell us about yourself, man.
So my name is Brandon Ward. I wear many hats in the community, all based on just helping out. That's my passion. My main passions are helping small businesses systemize so that the business owner can get out of the way, sell their business, expand, franchise, whatever the finish line looks like for them. But then also my connection to our children in the community, helping children understand their personality, their behaviors, understand that their differences. And then I do it within assessments. And then we also work on leadership, so we can work with teachers, we can work with faculty members, just trying to really make a difference in the community, helping people understand that they are perfect just the way they are. And if we can come together as a community, simple as you guys have with these partnerships, we can really create impact. And that's really what I do.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I love, we're better together around here.
Right.
And we want the business owners to feel that way too, in terms of how they treat their employees and all that. And then I love that you specialize on making sure that, teams are, happy, doing amazing work and growing. And so that's incredible.
Yes, that alignment.
Hey, we gotta bring you in here to do a class with us,
I
Brandon.
would love to. You know what?
Yeah.
I would definitely love to. I plan on doing so much work with you guys.
Yes, sir.
I plan on really being a part of this, utilizing the studio, the podcast studio,
Yeah.
bringing other talent here as well. But really developing the community. And I feel like the partnerships, the alignment, and having a strategic alliance is going to really benefit the community. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. I honor what you guys are doing, and I respect it. So keep it up, man. Thank you.
Hey, man, thank you so much. And the Urban Chamber has been a super amazing supporter of our community for a long time. And so we got to
and
build
welcome.
on that.
Yeah, welcome. Y'all, both organizations are members of the community now, are member of the chambers. So we'll be able to even connect even more. We got about 400, approaching 500 memberships. So you guys will be able to have access to even more businesses to help out as well. So we're going to create even more impact. So we expanding all 2024, and we're going to do it with y'all right next to us.
Heck yeah, Brandon. All right, man. Thank you so much. God
Congratulations.
bless. Thank you.
Yes.
What's up, amigo?
How's it going?
Oh man, dude, I appreciate you, brother.
Yes. This is super beautiful, man. Holy smokes, man.
Yeah, dude.
Congratulations on everything. This turned out absolutely great. It's amazing. Seeing Congressman Horsford here is just super cool too.
For sure. He does so much in our community. Folks, this is Tyson Dela Cruz. He's a serial entrepreneur here in Las Vegas. I've had the pleasure of working with this man, learning with this man over the past 2 years now. And I'm really excited because he offered to volunteer his expertise on this AI craze. And if you thought AI was just ChatGPT, man, it is not. Can you tell them about it?
Yeah, the great thing about AI is, it expedites time and allows us to get to the marketplace a lot quicker. And, to be able to show the people here, like, how to utilize AI in many different facets outside of just ChatGPT. We're talking 11 labs, how to edit videos, how to edit podcasts fairly quickly. Specifically, if you're on a budget or looking to grow your business, AI is an absolute game changer for anybody.
Absolutely. And 11 Labs might be a new company for a lot of the folks that are watching now. Can you talk about what exactly they do and how you use it in your business?
Yeah, actually, 11 Labs is a AI voice generating software that allows individuals to either record their voice so they can create faceless YouTube videos, faceless Instagram videos. And then also it can replicate other voices if there's a sample of it. So for example, you can use a Joe Rogan voice, and Joe Rogan can commentate on your YouTube channel. But in instances for a faceless YouTube channel for monetization purposes, you can just type it in and it'll be able to talk for the whole sequence of the YouTube or Instagram channel.
Super dope. And it's not just the faceless stuff too. There's also the videos. You've cloned yourself.
Yeah.
You're one of the few entrepreneurs I know in Vegas who's cloned himself online.
Yeah. The cool thing with AI able to clone, right? So we can take a video just like this and replicate it and use it multiple times, coupling with 11 Labs to create multiple videos from one shot. And the great thing about that is, like we don't have a lot of time, so we can maximize our time with just one shot or one video, and then we can use that multiple times for different topics and a lot of different things.
Yeah, for sure. So let's say, like an example, you're a busy doctor and you want to be able to provide educational resources to your patients, but you can't be on a camera 24/7. So you just do it one time and then you tell your digital clone what to say, and it could do that 100 times.
And it only takes less than 10 minutes. It's absolutely great. We've used it in some of our businesses to create like tutorials or online messages for employees, and it's an absolute game changer.
Booyah. Well, Tyson, I can't wait till you come teach out of this space. And folks, when you see this on social media, comment below so we can invite you to that class.
Love it. Thank you, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate
take
you.
care.
Talk about your next event.
What's up? How are you? Good morning.
Hey, Ashley, I'm good. How are you doing?
Amazing.
Hey, folks, we are live with Ashley Dodson from the Urban Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, that's how we're doing it. I've been watching the news lately, and the news has been filled with a lot of divisiveness and a lot of negativity. So I'm really grateful that we have a space here where we can, put out our own narrative, where we can, share some positivity in our community and help connect people, because that's what we really need.
Yes.
So tell us about the work you're doing over at the Urban Chamber.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but I'm Ashley Dodson. I'm the Membership Engagement Manager at the Urban Chamber of Commerce. I am your small business advocate. I help connect our members, entrepreneurs, people who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs with resources and helping them navigate through this, economic space that we're in right now.
Absolutely. And what's your specialty, your business that you're focused on these days?
Well, my specialty by trade, I'm a social worker. I assist with nonprofit consulting, small business advocacy, and of course, all things social justice. I'm an advocate and women empowerment, and especially uplifting those in our Black and Brown communities.
That's amazing. We have a member in our community who is planning a book signing. Female entrepreneur. We got to get her book up here,
Okay, yes.
and we'd love to collaborate with y'all to make sure we do that together.
Okay,
That'd be amazing.
absolutely. I'm there. Just let me know.
Ashley,
Anytime.
thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's always good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Okay.
Oh man, Dr. Bo,
It was so fun being on stage with you.
It really was.
Telling our story.
Hey, we at Nevada Partners, me as a running Rebel, so appreciative of all of the mentorship, all of the guidance, the resource connections that you and the leadership at UNLV has provided for us. It has been monumental.
Yeah, it really is a special time in leadership at UNLV. And we've had great presidents in the past, but we have a special one right now. And Keith Whitfield's whole thing is, let's blow up the invisible walls that feel like they're there sometimes when you're trying to go to a university or engage a university. And let's go out into the community and bring the good
well, instead of unpause now.
Okay. So we'll do that
Sometimes-
part again? Oh.
Oh no, we got it, but you know, that's the funny thing about tech. Sometimes you got to turn it
No,
off
that's
and turn
right,
it back
that's
on,
right.
and then
No,
that
that's
works.
right, that's right.
So, you know, for the folks who don't know about all the amazing work that's happening at UNLV Blackfire, and I picked up the wrong mic. For the folks that don't, yeah, for the folks that don't know about the great work at UNLV Blackfire, can you tell us about what's happening there and how this is going to become a pipeline for entrepreneurs and what that pipeline really
Yeah,
means?
That's exactly right. So Blackfire, first off, the Blackfire Opal is Nevada's state gemstone, which I grew up here and I had no idea that that was the case, but it's a cool name, right? And it's the name for our innovation campus. So Duke University did this in the Carolinas when they were struggling, when they had kind of a narrow just tobacco economy. We've seen this in places like Austin with the University of Texas. Most all tech hubs have a university as their heartbeat, driving innovation. There's tons and tons of labs on campus that turn out all sorts of amazing things. What Blackfire does is it takes those ideas and turns them into businesses, right? And so this is a process, of course, you're very familiar with, but a lot of folks have an idea, but don't know how to go from point A to point B. And universities can be a really powerful driver there. So we have everything from, we have about 100 companies there, most small startups. We have 3 tech unicorns, which are represented there. A tech unicorn, $1 billion company that was born in Las Vegas. We have 3 of those here.
Wow.
And we have medical, we have telecommunications, we have educational, and of course we have the fun economy, which is the tourism plus sports plus entertainment that we're so famous for in Las Vegas, represented throughout the whole
Out there, and hopefully the entrepreneurs, after they grow from here, they can, if they need seed money, if they need to scale.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Bo, we love you.
Thank
You so much.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, let's bring up Oscar. Okay. Thanks for everything you do, SJ. Oscar, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh man, doing well. We got a former mayor in the house. We got the, you represent EveryoneOn. This would not have been possible without EveryoneOn and the work that y'all are doing. Could you, for everybody that's here, just do a quick introduction of yourself and the work that you're doing?
Yeah, so my name's Oscar Magana. I'm a program manager for EveryoneOn. I'm based in Los Angeles, but I do work for the organization in several states.
Oh, cool.
So I've worked in Texas, I've worked in Detroit, Atlanta, Brooklyn, and now we're here working in Nevada, right? So I'm really excited about the work that we're going to be doing because we're going to be partnering with you to teach foundational digital skills to participants who are looking to learn foundational digital skills.
Absolutely. Can I share a story with you?
Yeah.
So there was a time when I moved to a city where, and it's not Vegas, it was a different city, moved abroad, didn't know anybody there. And it was tough trying to figure out how to get a job. And so I was able to jump on a LinkedIn, and I was able to start networking with people on LinkedIn. And I was able to jump on a Zoom call, and I was able to jump on Zoom calls with people. And that literally helped me go from being broke, being almost past due on rent, Christmas coming up with no prospects for a job, the combination of knowing how to use my computer to get on LinkedIn, to jump on Zoom meetings, to network with people. In less than 3 weeks, I had 3 jobs, and that pretty much saved my life out there. And so I looked at the curriculum that everyone provided us, and it's really comprehensive in terms of taking somebody from the very basics to get to knowing nothing to getting them digital ready. And so, do you have any stories you want to share with us in terms of like how digitalization has improved somebody's life through your programs?
Yeah, definitely. There's one that always stands out in my mind. Some of the participants that we work with are senior citizens. And a lot of times they're very intimidated by technology because they say, we didn't grow up with it. And I don't know, I don't want to do this. It scares me, right? So there was one woman who was in one of our classes. She was 87 years old.
Wow.
By the end of the first class, she reached out to me and she's like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And I said, why not? And she said, because I feel that if I do this, I'm going to hold everybody back. I have too many questions. And I don't want to be the barrier for somebody else to be able to learn these digital skills. And I said, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. I talked to the instructor and I said, can we set up one-on-one sessions between you and this participant for about 30 minutes each week? So that way, if she has any additional questions, she can build up that confidence and not quit this class. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we went ahead, we set up those sessions. She ended up not quitting the class. And by the end of the class, she was so happy that she stuck with the class. And then she shared with me that for years, she's been wanting to take her citizenship test, but she didn't have the resources to be able to take that citizenship test. So now she said that I have these digital skills. I can go online, I can study, and I will have the confidence to be able to take that citizenship test.
Wow, that's amazing. That's super amazing. Oscar, what personally inspired you to do this type of community development work?
So I worked in education for over 18 years prior to coming to EveryoneOn. I used to work primarily with kids that were anywhere between kinder all the way to high school. And day after day, I would see that parents lack the resources to be able to support their kids' education. And I think you and I both know how important it is for parents to be able to have those resources. And I understand that in order for these kids to be more successful, if their parents have these digital skills, they're going to be able to better support their students in their academic success. And I think that's what's really inspiring me now, making sure that now the parents that work with these kids are able to not just support them in their academic success, but also keep them safe online. I don't think we talk about enough about that. Yeah.
Oh man, Oscar, we really appreciate everything y'all have been doing for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we've got the legendary Gary Carrier joining us. Gary,
Nice, thank
how are
you.
you doing?
I'm good. I can't help but feel the energy that's in the room and everything that's going on here that we've helped to bring together. So thank you, and thanks for having me here.
Yeah, thank you. I always get chills, even though I've heard the story like a dozen times. I still get chills hearing your story because you really did have a golden ticket to San Francisco. But it's not about me, right? It's how we can serve the community, and I love that you really embody that by going to some of the poorest places in the world to uplift people out of poverty. I mean, that's really what it's going to take to make the world a better place. What inspired you doing that when you had all your other classmates picking up jobs at Meta and YouTube and Google or wherever else? What inspired you to go down to Brazil instead?
I think really the kind of very unique moment in human history that we live in, right? Because right now what's happening is technology is impacting every single sector across every industry, every company. I make the comment a lot that, every company now is becoming a technology company, whether they want to or not, right? And so what that creates is an insatiable sort of demand for more technology workers. At the same time, you have some of the biggest technology companies in the world, the Googles, the Metas, kind of getting away from some of the traditional barriers to entry. Don't necessarily need a computer science degree anymore in order to become a software developer because the demand is so high.
Right.
Here in the United States, for every one software developer, there are 5 job openings. And so we can really kind of do 2 things at the same time. Number one, serve the needs of the market by training more people, but also tap into sort of the genius and the talent that exists in places that have been overlooked and marginalized for a very long time. Because what we know is that talent is everywhere. You're going to find talented people, high potential people in any spot in the world. What you're not going to find is opportunity. But in the digital era, technology helps to create that bridge. And so by training people from low-income areas to be software developers or to launch a career in IT, we break generational cycles of poverty, but at the same time sort of help the market and service the needs of the market, which needs more technology talent.
That's amazing. And I look around in this room and around this building, and I see so much talent. And thank you for volunteering to teach a class, Introduction to Software Development or Careers in Software Development on February 24th. Can you tell folks a little bit about what they can expect for that program?
Yeah, so we're going to be hosting an information session on Saturday, February 24th. Here at Nevada Partners for people to come and learn a little bit more about what the program is, what it entails, how to get involved, and kind of what that roadmap looks like, right? Because a lot of people are interested in maybe starting a career in tech, but they don't really know where to start or what it looks like. Where will I be a year from now? And so our biggest goal is to not only sort of bridge that knowledge gap, but also to introduce you to people who have gone through the program in other places. One person that comes to mind, I just was scrolling social media recently and his picture came up. His name is Mateos. Mateos comes from the largest slum in Latin America. It's a place called Rocinha. It's a favela in Brazil, 150,000 people. Drug traffickers, abject poverty, open sewers. He was a moto taxi guy about a year and a half ago. He heard about our program, went through the program. 9 months later, he got his first entry-level job as a software developer for a fintech actually based in Florida. He works remote from the favela, from the slum. So this picture came up, and it's him in the mountains, and he's got this big jacket on, and there's a bunch of snow behind him. And I know that there's no snow in Brazil. So I said, Mateus, where are you? And he said, I'm on my first international trip. I'm in the mountains of Chile. And I said, that's awesome. I hope you brought your girlfriend with you, right? And he said, no, actually, I brought my dad. It was his dream for us to see the snow growing up. And I come from a community to where we never had the resources in order to take a trip even across town. But now, because of Plataforma, because of this program, because of the hard work that I put in, I'm able to help my dad live out a dream. And that's all because of Plataforma and the fact that I came and dedicated my time and worked. And I mean, I remember Mateo showing up on mentorship calls. He'd had his motorcycle helmet on. It's pouring down rain. But a year and a half later, he's in the mountains of Chile with his dad, living out a dream. So it's a huge inspiration for me to see those stories and to share those stories. And so in the information session on February 24th, we'll share more of those stories and look at creating this larger, what we call a Jedi network of alumni and graduates and people who come from these types of communities who have made it to not only act as inspiration and motivation, but also act as mentors and facilitators and people to help guide and show you the way.
That is so amazing. Thank you for putting in so much work to uplift the community. We really appreciate
Absolutely.
it, Gary.
Thank you, Elias. Thank you very much.
All right. We've got so many amazing partners to highlight here. So if you want to get highlighted, please come down to the front row so I can make sure to bring you up. I want to bring up Fabrice Jordan, who's going to be teaching a social media mastery class over here. Breeze, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I go by Breeze, digital marketing expert. So I own a marketing agency here and I own a travel agency out in Florida. But just love teaching the marketing, anything marketing related, right? But more than that, just the psychology behind it, how to leverage things that we have going on today in order to just get your product and your brand visible in front of the right audience. So that's what I'm hoping to come teach here is just on top of the things that you know how to do on computers and the technology side of it, what are the different apps that are coming out? What are different ways that you can leverage AI today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know you and me, we both use AI pretty much in a ton of our workflows, like content creation, video editing, even brainstorming and stuff like that. And, I'm really grateful for you and Derek coming out here. I think y'all taught the first class out of this space before we, pre-opening. And one of the things that Derek shared with me, and I thought that was really interesting for folks to know about is when you have a back-end funnel on your social media, as in, where you're going to direct people from social media into your system, right? So, we both do like landing pages and funnels, and you need to have some kind of funnel with an offer and then some solid social media to drive that traffic, to get conversions and really drive some business. Can you kind of fill in some of the gaps? I spoke very broadly, vaguely about that. Can you talk about what that funnel is about?
Yeah. So for me, what we were able to teach was the concept of, less clicks. Right. As we know, it's just harder to have people purchase from you if they have to click through 10 different pages to get to you. So from social media, I think there's the idea that if we just post enough content, that's going to work. But on the back end, usually there's not a way for people to buy from you. Or when they do get off of social media into your website where everything should be, converting for them, it's not what they expected to see. It's not congruent with what you were showing on social media. And I think that's where a lot of the disconnect is. So you can make content till you blue in the face, 30 pieces of content a month and not really getting any sales from that. Well, it's not because the content isn't good. It might not be good, right? Like there's something that we can definitely teach in that department. Right. But if it is good, there's a way to connect people from the content to your profile, to your link tree, to your website. Now, when they get to the website, it shouldn't be 10 different clicks to buy. There should be something up top that they can interact with right now or that they can purchase on right now. And then there's other ways to also allow people to purchase from the platform that they're already on so they don't even have to make their way to your website. But you can still leverage all the information and the data on the back end. Right. Data is worth more than oil and gold and all these things that they're saying now. Right. So if you have all the information, you can leverage it the right way. And we teach you how to do that.
I love that. And you know, one comment on that, I mean, the big companies, the biggest companies in the world are dominating because they have access to data. But when you come into this space, we can hook you up with software so that you can manage your own data, so that you can start managing your own customer list, and you can start implementing some of these tactics that the billion-dollar companies are doing. We just want to make that available for all the small businesses here. So Breeze, can't wait till y'all come back to teach some more classes, dude. Really appreciate you.
And thank you for having me. This guy knows what he's talking about. So, you know, if you didn't know already, mess with Elias. All right, y'all, I'm out of here.
All right, Breeze. All right, Alaric, you want to come on up? All right, next up, we got Alaric Overby, co-founder of Green Side Up. Oh, man, dude, you do so much stuff out here. I mean, you know, you've taken an idea and since, you know, and I know your vision is so broad and so massive, and we're not there yet, but I can see you making, you know, meaningful strides and steps towards that vision, specifically with the food desert, combating the food desert here in Las Vegas. Can you explain to people what that means, the food desert here in Vegas, and what you're doing to combat that?
So unfortunately, Vegas imports about 98% of all of its produce. There was a study done by the fire marshal a couple of years ago that said that if I-5 got shut down in 95, that they'd have about 3 days worth of food left here in the city. This area that we're sitting in now is considered a food desert according to the USDA. That's because the people here who don't have cars or something like that, they have to travel more than a mile to get access to fresh produce. When I started to really kind of understand, my background is in IT, and I was working in Dallas, and I had a coworker who lived in South Dallas, and I drove her home one day. So for me, you know, I lived in Dallas-Fort Worth area, very nice area. And everything changed when we crossed Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. It was like, it was a whole different type of community, very similar to what we see here on the historic Westside. And so the research kind of led to understanding that food deserts aren't just about problems that have access to food, but it also makes it a resource desert. It also causes a lot of different health problems. It also causes a lot of different mental problems when people don't have access to healthy food, because those things like neurotransmitter, you only get from one place, good nutrition. And so if you have a whole community that doesn't have access to good nutrition, then that means they're not firing off the right neurotransmitters in their brains to even make the right decisions about their future. So what we've been fighting for is to really not just feed the community, but teach the community the skills on how to feed themselves. So by teaching them indoor agriculture, vertical farming, more innovative ways of growing food by, you know, recycling all the water, recycling the nutrients, and using, you know, a third of the space in order to grow food and not necessarily having to use soil, it now makes it more accessible for people in the community to, one, have access to healthier produce, but also have an opportunity to actually get into business of agriculture, get into the business of farming. And we try to take it a step further by introducing both agriculture and technology, because it's like, how do you start to introduce and how you start to bring in the next generation of farmers? My son is not going to go out there 15 years old, and I would not expect him to go out and find a field to go dig in the dirt. But by digitizing and making technology part of agriculture, if you can pull up your phone, like, hey, this is what I'm growing, it's in a building, I control all the environment, I know exactly what the temperature is in there, I know what my pH balance is, I know everything about that plant and where it came from. And then you start to attach like digital currencies and other things to it. What you run into is now you've created almost like an agrotech valley, similar to Silicon Valley. But what you're able to do is draw in a whole different group of individuals who are interested in the business of now growing food.
I love that. And I want to double click on a piece there. How much time do we have until we run out of food if food wasn't coming in?
3 days.
3 days. Holy crap. That's insane. So one thing that I really like that you're doing is you're building out micro farms. Can you tell folks about micro farms? Maybe give us an example of what that micro farm looks like and how people can get in touch with you if they want to start their own micro farm for their business or their home.
So a lot of the agriculture industry is built on big ag, big technology, but it has a high overhead and a lot of cost that goes into that. So what we've done is looked at how do you start to develop smaller micro farms that you can easily kind of strategically place closer to the centers of where that actual demand is. So for example, we have a Mario's here. So, you know, having a grocery store or having a farm that grows produce that goes into that grocery store, which is right up the street, that helps that grocery store when it comes to the logistical challenges of actually sourcing produce. Most of the produce, most of the food that we get travels at least 2,000 miles before it actually gets to our plate. Loses a lot of the nutrient contents on the way. A lot of the fruit and everything ripens on the road. So by the time it gets to you, you've already wasted about 30% of the actual nutrient content in that food. So by creating these micro farms and catering directly to those companies and those individuals who are specifically looking to source produce, hotels, restaurants, chefs, grocery stores who all want this, who all have to ship this in, it makes it a lot easier for them to know that, hey, I know right over there's a farm that I can actually go and 5 miles away and go pick up the things that we need for the store. You know, you're a farmer and you know where your food is actually coming from.
That's amazing, Alaric. Thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate all the work you're doing. All right, there's so many amazing folks in here. All right, up next we got Miss Lynn James. Thank you so much, Miss Lynn, for joining us today. You're doing some amazing work. You have such an amazing testimony. Can you, tell us, a little bit about yourself and the work that you're doing in our community?
Oh, okay. Well, I am Lynn James. I do currently work for the Department of Family Services as a foster parent trainer and recruiter, mostly recruiting now. But my own story starts with I'm a former foster child myself. Because I've been with the department so long, I'm very versed in trauma, how to handle, deal with, process, and working with youth and even adults with traumatic, symptomatic behavior as a result of traumatic experiences. So I do train on trauma, talk about it from not only from a professional perspective, but also a personal perspective as well. I think as a community, trauma is something that we kind of like want to just turn our back on and wish it away, but unfortunately, it's not going away. Trauma is a part of something that everybody will experience at some point, and how we empower ourselves is learn how to deal with it, accept it, and cope through it is what we typically do. All right. And that's it. And I do want to say I've been kind of like moving with Nevada Partners for at least 4 or 5 years. And I'm very excited and grateful. And my heart is filled with a lot of joy to see where Nevada Partners is and the opportunity that came today. I'm just excited for you guys and know that I was here because you're such an amazing person. I'm so happy and excited for you. Watching you grow. Oh, I know big things is in the wake for like so many of us from this community. So thank you.
Together.
Yes,
Together.
absolutely.
If I can just give you a shout out, I mean, you've definitely done, you do what you preach, right? Which is you've taken your story and you've written books, you've coached young folks, older folks, people of all ages, and you've even had Les Brown write the foreword to one of your books. That was kind of cool, and thank you for all of the service work you do with us, and we'd love to invite you to come teach some classes out at this space sometime.
I think I'll be here in March.
All right.
I'll be here in March.
All right. Awesome, Miss
Thank
Lynn.
you,
Hey, thank you so much. Cool. Next up, I want to bring up Bijel Palmer, one of my mentors, collaborators. He's a digital marketing expert, but more than that, productivity expert, works with vital assistants all around the world. But Bijel can tell you more about that. Bijel, thanks so much for joining.
Thanks so much.
Good to see you. So, I kind of gave my version of the intro, but why don't you tell folks what you're all about and the class that you're going to be teaching here?
Yeah. So the class I'll be teaching will basically be on productivity, but through the use of remote workers. We live at a time that we have access to a global workforce. And the reason I'm so passionate about this is because my first 10 years as an entrepreneur, I'd get excited about something, I'd start something, and after a while, I'd find my motivation kind of waning. Yeah. And I'd go start something new. And after a while, there's excitement of getting something started again. And after a while, I'd find my interest waning again. It wasn't until about 10 years later, I'm kind of a slow learner. 10 years later, I realized it was when I picked up the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. The reason I fell out of love with what I started was because of the boring aspects of business. The emails, the invoicing, the billing, the admin level of the business. I didn't want to be doing that. But I wasn't aware that was what was killing my motivation. It was draining me mentally. right? So then I realized that, well, if we can delegate that stuff out, we can continue doing what we love the most about our business and delegate the rest out. It's one of the fastest ways to boost productivity. And I think this word productivity is misunderstood, right? Or it's not one of these fancy words, but it's our ability to produce a consistent result in our business. And so it should be a word that every entrepreneur embraces, who wake up and say, hey, what is it I'm going to produce this given day? What's the best use of my time to produce that result? And what can I delegate to team members? That's really what I'll be teaching. How do we do that? How do you prioritize what to delegate, given that there are so many different things? We're all on a tight budget, but there is still a way, even at 1 or 2 hours per day, to bring in a team member and have them do that boring stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Something I know we share the mindset on, and I'll ask this question for folks: who wants to be a millionaire? Right? Everybody's hand should go up, right? Like everybody here wants to be a multi-millionaire. All right. Well, I think to make $1 million, you have to earn like $500 an hour, right? That's something, right? So to make $1 million, we need to put out enough value in the world that we're earning back $500 an hour. And I'm guilty of this. I know you're guilty of this.
Let me address that.
Please,
so think about this, right? If anyone's gone to a personal development event,
right,
at some point there is some question that is along that lines. How many of you want to be a millionaire, right? Hands go up. The whole room, the hands go up. So great. Now think about this. You just said you have to be putting out at least $500 per hour of value. Then we go back to our jobs, or we go back to our business or whatever, and we start doing $5 per hour work. What are we actually saying to universe when we do that? When we devalue our time to $5 or $6 per hour, right? How is it possible mathematically to ever create, forget $1 million business, even $100,000 business, if we're spending our time on that level of work?
Yeah,
that's the mindset shift. It's not just about finding a VA or finding somebody out there. It's if we are valuing our time at such a small amount, we will never achieve the success that we desire.
Yep, definitely. That is exactly the point there, right? And so investing into our teams, investing into what we do with our times, like as a technologist, I'm trying to not spend as much time, tweaking the number of pixels on a flyer graphic and spending more time building automations that could, continue to work for me later. Can you tell us a little bit about the class you'll be co-hosting or hosting potentially with your daughter?
Yeah. So two things. So I'll be teaching on how do we even start thinking about building a team, right? Even if you're on a tight budget, right? Even if it's, I call it the 5 hour per day assistant. What that means is if somebody could help you for about 5 hours for just 1 hour per day as a starting point, what could they do for you that would move the needle in your business? Obviously, a person who's working 1 hour a day is not going to transform your business dramatically, but they can transform one part of your business. And then it's like going to the gym, right? First, we can lift only so much, and then we kind of build the delegation muscle. So the point of the class is to teach people how to build a delegation muscle. Now, I'll be hopefully joined by my daughter. So she'll be teaching how she's using AI to basically write sales copy. So the number one thing in business that I always recommend that we learn how to do is write sales copy. It's everywhere, from sales pages to scripts to video scripts to content. If we can learn to write using AI, we can shorten the time period. Again, just another way to boost productivity.
Heck yeah, Bijal, thank you so much. We're looking forward to it. Appreciate you. All right. All right, next up, we've got Monifa Keynes with Southern Nevada Veteran Chamber of Commerce, really working to help veterans, build more wealth, make more impact through their small businesses. Monifa, welcome today.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, and the work you're doing in our community.
Thank you. Well, I am a veteran myself. And then when I came out of the military, it was a whole new world. I didn't have a community to surround me and help me and teach me what's going on if I wanted to start my own business. So I learned the hard way. But with the Southern Nevada Veteran Chamber of Commerce, we help veterans, military spouses, and military dependents. If they want to be an entrepreneur, we support them. We give them the guidance, the tools, and the networking. And it's also about collaboration. And that's why I'm here also today, to find out what you're doing. And I'm so thankful because we are going to partner with you and bring some veterans here so they can learn more. We also want to expand the ecosystem that with veteran supporters so that we can better the community as a whole and move together, because realistically, the Southern Nevada Veteran Chamber of Commerce wants to see everybody win in entrepreneurship.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for, being a part of today's event. If you had to share, one thing, your favorite thing that came out of today, what might that be?
Collaboration, 100%. Because like someone said, if you want to go far, you need people around you. You need a community, and you won't get there by yourself. So I always say build a village, and you're now part of the village.
Yes. Let's build that village. Let's nurture some entrepreneurs. I really believe the work that we're doing here can really bring wealth to this community so we can take care of our families, take care of each other. That's what this is all about.
And mental freedom.
Yes, absolutely. Manifa, thank you so much.
Thank
It's always a
you.
pleasure to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Clay T, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that you found the event so valuable. Next up, we have Sammy Lee, one of our mentors in the space, a financial modeling guru. Sammy, thank you for joining us today.
Hi.
Would you want to start off by introducing yourself and some of the classes that you'll be teaching out of this space?
Yes, classes. I was thinking about this earlier. My name's Sammy. I spent the last 10 years in strategy and operations. I love numbers, math, analytics, just love all of that stuff. And so what I really believe is that there are so many businesses that have already figured out how to build things efficiently. If we can learn from people who have $10 million of marketing budget to spend so that we can spend our $10,000 the best that we can, that's what small businesses need to do in order to grow and survive. So what I want to do is, we love tourism, we love the fun economy out here, and we have so many bright students that are so young and already thinking about how to grow and how to build wealth and legacies. So if we can start from the very beginning and do something where we can talk about what profit margins look like. If I want to build something in entertainment, if I want to build a tourism experience, how can I make sure that that's going to be profitable? Where do I put my marketing dollars? How can I test that that's the right place to put my marketing dollars before I spend money on it? But how can I test that something's the right thing to do before I spend a lot of time on it? And so I think that's where I want to focus analytics and just help these early stage businesses be more efficient with how little they have to put into their business.
Absolutely. Definitely appreciate it. I mean, it's essential to be able to understand cash flow statements, profit loss margins, in order to build a business that's going to be profitable and also become lendable one day. Right. And that's what we really want to set people up for. And so, yeah, we're really appreciative of you, Sammy, for, helping co-host our Promise Startups conferences every first Saturday of the month, and for volunteering to teach, share some of your wisdom with our community. So thank you.
Of course.
Anything else you want to share with folks?
Oh, what's the overall goal of this set of interviews?
Yeah, so we're live. Folks are tuning in right now, which is pretty cool. What's up, David? Thank you for watching. And then, yeah, we'll cut all these videos into social videos so we can promote this space and bring people back in. So if you want to be like, this is why you should attend my finance class, and then the social media copy will read, February 29th.
Well, if it's about being in this space, I would say that the hardest things to do in entrepreneurism is have someone who's already done it, have a community of people who are doing it with you, and then getting access to the knowledge that will accelerate you much, much faster. So I think that the accelerator space that we have here helps with so much of that. If I can say something about finances and what will be really helpful, just to go off of what you just mentioned, cash flow is the #1 reason that inventory-based businesses fail. because they are constantly reinvesting their money back into physical product so that they can have something to sell. If that is going to be an issue for you, being able to forecast that out, be really smart with your inventory investment, and build lending relationships such that when you get there, you can say, actually, I'm going to buy this from you now so I can go sell it, but I'm not going to pay you anything for this for 90 days. And knowing that that's something you can even do in business changes the way that you run your business. So if something like that is a helpful tip, definitely come back.
I love it. And one note on that, when my dad used to own smoke shops here in Vegas, he implemented that exact same tactic. It was like, put your inventory here. I'm not going to pay anything for it until we sell it. And then you come back and collect your cash. And so it's great. Thank you so much, Sammy. Appreciate you. Next up, I'd love to bring up Chandler Cook from the Urban Chamber of Commerce. Chandler is a serial entrepreneur. I'm really excited to have him in this space and hear what kind of wisdom he has available for us today. How are you doing?
Good.
All right. Hey, if you could, in your own words, just introduce yourself and your expertise, it'd be much appreciated.
Yeah. I'm Chandler. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm Chandler Cooks. I'm a business navigator with the Urban Chamber of Commerce. At the Urban Chamber of Commerce, we are an entrepreneurial space that provides, or we provide that entrepreneurial space for you to access economic development opportunities, provide that opportunity to promote and connect with other local businesses in the community. Outside of the Urban Chamber, I am also an entrepreneur, as he said. I have a business in the cannabis space.
That's really interesting. I mean, a business in the cannabis space cannot be easy, right? I mean, about the amount of regulation, the amount of capital, like critique is probably not the right word, but like you're just got such a magnifying glass by all these government folks, by the community. Can you talk about, what are some of the core business principles you've had to master in order to make sure that you can, keep your cannabis business healthy, protected, and growing?
Yeah. Absolutely. Number one is compliance. I tell everyone that's interested in cannabis, if you're interested in cannabis industry, then you're interested in the compliance industry. Being able to understand, laws, understand the regulations that are set forth, being able to write sensible standard operating procedures that apply to these laws, and make sure that they're written in a way that a layman can understand. You're also in, I want to say, the finance, like being able to have a strong team of finance experts around you. That's going to be key. This is a very cash-heavy industry, so you have to be surrounded by people who have that expertise and have that knowledge and understanding of how important it is to maintain your cash flow and ensure that your taxes are paid on time. Aside from that, being able to ensure that your communications with building a team. I think that is really the biggest thing, being able to successfully bring in people around you who see your vision, being able to articulate your vision clearly and, convince people that it's a viable idea and that it deserves to be funded. If you have those core competencies and principles, you'll make it far.
I love that. And Chandler, appreciate the work you're doing as a business navigator. Appreciate that you've volunteered to be a mentor with us. And so now that we have the space, we definitely want to bring you into the space to host some sessions with us. That would be so much appreciated. Love all the work that you're doing and hope we can build some amazing businesses together.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Chandler. Thank you. All right, Danielle.
our Taste Juice Bar founder. You supplied the juices today. That was awesome. Give it up for her. You've been a part of our community for a long time. As a teacher here, but also as a new entrepreneur in the community. Can you give folks a bit of an introduction about yourself and anything else that you would like to share?
Of course. Okay, like Elias said, I'm a former teacher. I actually taught for 8 years. I didn't really realize how much teaching taught me about entrepreneurship until I became an entrepreneur. Now I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Systems in particular, in a classroom, I was able to implement a lot of those like early on into my business because I did them for so many years in a classroom. Transitioned out of the classroom about 3 years ago and started a juice business. So I make a all natural juice product, no additives, sweeteners, anything like that, just juice. And I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, we love your juices, Danielle, and we're thankful that you provided those juices here, and that you've also been coming to the conference. Do you think the conference is something people should attend, and if so or not, why or why not? Yeah, that was the question.
Absolutely. Always a lot of value, always a lot of opportunity to network and meet people that may be interested in what you do, or you may find people that can add value to your process as well. So I would definitely recommend it.
Awesome. Thank you. And so I hope to see you again. First Saturday of every month, the Promise Startups Conference right here at Nevada Partners. Danielle, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Oops. All right. All right, folks. So next up, we've got Siti Musa joining us, a founder of a Kenyan food startup. Siti, in your own words, can you introduce yourself and what you've been up to?
Hi, my name is Satay Musa, and so far I've been trying to start a couple new businesses for myself and one with my sister, which is we are trying to start a food truck selling sambusas. That's an African hand food. It's like triangular. It's kind of like an empanada. So they come beef, chicken, a veggie, or anything like any type of insides that you want. We could put that inside there, and we are hopefully trying to start a food truck soon or do catering and grow our business. So if you guys ever have meetings or anything like that, we can always cater to you guys.
That's awesome. And you've catered some of ours. So those those dishes are definitely delicious. So thank you for having a vegetarian option. And you've attended the conference a couple of times. You've attended some of our events. Is there anything that you could share with the audience, in terms of what you might have learned or what you might have liked about the community and the entrepreneurship programming we have here?
Yes, I really enjoyed coming to the events because it gives me a chance to network and also learn a lot of new stuff that I didn't know before, like how to come up with funding and stuff like that, but also really to connect with people. And that's the probably the best thing from it. And also I got to learn a whole bunch of new things from a lot of different people that I didn't know before.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, Satay, you're so appreciated in our community. Can't wait to try some more of that good food, and I hope to see you again soon at our next conference.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So next up, I want to bring up, somebody who has been a steadfast supporter, has really been a part of that backbone for this organization, Nevada Partners. Somebody who's been, who walked in as a youth leader, and today is our president and CEO, Lizette Guillen. If you could come join us on our live stream for this amazing launch event.
Thank you,
Oh,
thank you,
man.
Elias. Thank you for that amazing introduction, and just thank you for your support and dedication. This has been overwhelming. Just the role in general. Just I think it's been 6 months, and it has been beautiful. It's such an amazing experience to be able to lead such a passionate group and an amazing organization. We're doing such great work. I just love it.
Yes, and we are a youth-led organization. We've got so many youth here in this building, and also so many young folks in this community that we want to bring into here. And you walked in here as a young person, 17 plus years ago.
18 years old when I started working in this community.
So that's quite the testimony. Can you share some advice you might have for young folks, in terms of what are some of those lessons that you learned, some of those values that you have that you believe really helped you get to this place today?
Yeah, I would say that you're always a student. You have to learn, and you have to be willing to learn. You have to be. It has to be okay for you to say you don't know sometimes, and be willing to just take on the advice and be a product of other people's success. People have already gone through the trials and tribulations of what not to do, and it's important to be able to be observant. I really lead as a servant leader. And that's one of the things that it's very important to me. As I think about our youth now, they are leading to also be servant leaders because they're growing in the environment, they're growing in the community, and they're learning from the ground up. So they will also become servant leaders.
That's amazing. I love that. And to kind of build on that level of service, we become more impactful, right? When we have those skills, they're almost like superpowers, right? Like for you, your superpower is grants. And because of that, that made this space possible, all the amazing work possible. Can you share a little bit about, what that looks like? Give us a preview of the grant superpower and any advice you have for young folks trying to discover what their superpower might be.
Absolutely. First of all, just do it. One of the things that when I first started, I was an executive assistant. When I first started grant writing, I was an executive assistant. Didn't know anything about grants. It was probably my first week on the job. And I get this huge federal grant jumped on me and says, hey, get this stuff together. Okay, sure. Let me figure out what that means. So I'm going through the RFP, which is a request for proposal, and I'm reading through it, tagging it, doing what I think I'm supposed to do at the time, and went through, and I'll definitely recognize her, Dr. Tiffany Tyler. She showed me what it is to be a real grant writer, to know what it is to go through the process, and I've only been able to enhance my grant writing skills. And now with ChatGPT, it's actually even better because I think my grants are amazing, and then I put it through ChatGPT, and it just makes it even. It just enhances the words, and it's like, that's what I was trying to say. ChatGPT, you took the words out of my mouth, right? But that's just utilizing resources with grants. It's definitely a passion. I wish I had more time for it, but that's kind of a lot of the projects that we started. I mean, we talked about when Elias would come to me, hey, what do you think about, let's do it. Everything was like, let's do it, right? It was never an afterthought. It was always a first thought whenever he brought ideas. So I think it's important that whenever you have an idea that you just run with it. And if it doesn't work, okay, it didn't work, but at least you tried it. Don't be your own obstacle.
I love that. Yeah, I think we're really about keeping folks in motion, right? Don't be stagnant. There's always something to learn, always something to do. That's why we want to do these monthly events and all these classes and all of that kind of stuff. One more question for you. It must feel daunting sometimes, to have a 100-page document thrown on your desk and learn it and reply to it in an intellectual manner to the federal government on behalf of our organization. That must have been daunting. How do you kind of right size yourself to take on what may feel like in the beginning a very daunting task?
I don't do it alone. I like to be very collaborative with the work that we do. If it's something simple, quick, easy, 1-pager grant, okay, great. Any task that it's a very simple thing that's very independent, I'll get it out of the way and get on to the next task. But if it's a big task like the event today, I don't do it alone. I call upon resources, partners. Hey, you owe me a favor. Let's cash it in today. But really rely on those. But I feel like I try to be very righteous with everything that I do, and I carry everything in a good positive path, right? So everything I do, it's very selfless for me, and I do it because I care. And that's anything that you do, you want to lead with that. If you lead with the passion and the drive, everything else comes with it.
I love it. Was that anything else you want to share before we close out?
No, I just want to say thank you, everybody. This has been an overwhelming event. It's very exciting for me. Like I said, I've been acting president for 6 months. This is my first big event. We've done a few different things, but even kicking off the year, we're in month 2. This is February, so I'm just really excited to see what happens for the rest of the year.
Again, and funny enough, we got a question from the audience online. David asks, "Can I get those ChatGPT grant prompts?" You got a quick tip for David?
Yeah, so ChatGPT is actually free, which I'm baffled, right? But you also don't want to just say, "Hey, write a grant for me," right? You have to be very strategic on your questions, and I don't have it just write the answers for me, right? So as I'm going through and I'm writing through, it's like, you know what? Let me think about a different way to phrase what I'm trying to respond, and I'll write a paragraph and say, hey, can you soften this up for me? Or can you give me some words that will make this more community driven, or add some diversity inclusion to the statement? And it'll tweak it and adjust it and give you some recommendations. So it's not a copy and paste type of thing. You still have to do some work with the tool. It's not a replacement, it's a supplement.
I love it. Thank you so much,
You're
Lizette.
welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
All right, folks, that is all for today. We'll see you at the next live stream.